Step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
Right. Yes, sir. Remember, Manny and I will be back tomorrow night, Saturday, post-game with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes post-game report and our Caneswear post-game show. We will be focusing on the Gators and the Canes. Looking forward to it. Canes, by the way, still favored by 7.5. What do you think, Manny? I like the 7.5. You know, but one of the things that I love to do, Manny, is wait for the live line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last night the Dolphins they went down the field and scored right away on that first drive. So the 11.5 point spread went down to 5.5.
Wow.
And so that's
Cashed in.
when you jump on it at 5.5, 6.5, and you have an easy victory, you know, instead of giving that up, you know. And so to me, how do you look at this game? Do you lay the 7.5 or do you go, you know what? It's already 7.5. I got to get the 8 in order to win, right? So maybe I'll wait for the coin flip. And if Florida wins the coin flip, I hold off on my bet and hope Florida drives down the field and brings the number down. If they cross midfield, it'll bring the number down, actually. And then I can have a more manageable number. Or if Florida goes and scores, it really brings the number down. Now I say, okay, now I double up and I take advantage. What would you do for the better in that game? Do you lay the 7.5 or do you wait for kickoff to see who? Because if Miami receives, brother, you better lay the 7.5 right there and then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because if Miami drives down and scores, then the line's going to explode.
Yeah, I think you probably wait for the coin flip, see what happens. I would assume that Florida is going to try to get up on Miami early in the sense that they'll take the ball first if they win the toss, because it didn't work out well for USF, right? Miami drove right down the field and kind of just took the wind out of their sails with that opening drive last week. So Florida's clearly the underdog in this game. They're clearly the team reeling. So I would advise waiting for kickoff, waiting to see what happens and who gets the ball first, and betting the live line, because I do think Florida is going to show up in this game. This is sort of the last stand, right? We talked about Custard's last stand or whatever in school. Yeah. This is kind of Billy Napier's last stand, I think, in a lot of ways, because they lose this game, he probably loses the team. They showed up and played for him last week at LSU. Okay, that defense. Say what you want about DJ Lagway and his interceptions, but they haven't given up more than 18 points in a game this year.
They were awesome, dude. They were awesome. It was 20-10 or 9 or whatever the hell it was, and with 5 interceptions, that's a courageous effort by that defense. A great effort by that defense.
And the thing I would say about this Florida defense is they just lost Caleb Banks again. He's going to be out. He's their best defensive lineman. And they've only produced 2 sacks to this point. And I think Miami has done such a great job, obviously, protecting Carson Beck. And when he has all day to throw, dude, he looks like the best quarterback in the country, because he actually doesn't make mistakes like DJ Lagway does when he's got protection. 5 of DJ Lagway's 6 interceptions this season were in a clean pocket. So you look at Beck, both of his picks were under duress. So if Miami protects Carson Beck, he's shown you he doesn't make very many bad decisions. He's got the highest completion percentage in the country. So they should cover that spread. I think Miami wins this game. I'm conservatively saying 27-13, 28-13, something like that, because I think Florida will show up.
Right.
But I think Miami should win this game. And if DJ Lagway turns it over and is a mess, it's going to be a rout. So
yeah.
I'm backing on Florida playing a more disciplined game, playing a smarter game, and sticking around because of their defense. That's what I'm banking on.
It's funny. On Saturdays, we understand the protection of the quarterback. On Sundays, we just throw it out the window. Yeah, no, forget it. Yeah, the midget can get by in 2 seconds. Yeah, no, of course, no problem. Yeah, it'll be just fine. We look at the at the Florida team right now, and it's not an explosive offense. So I would expect that if the Canes in a game like this, I want to kind of get a lead on them and really put pressure on Lagway to throw the ball even more, right? I mean, that's kind of the way this game.
Absolutely. I think that has to be the case. And look, he has really talented receivers. I like Florida's receivers a ton. But when you actually sit there and look at the numbers, Trey Wilson is averaging less than 5 yards a catch. He's basically catching everything at the line of scrimmage. They're not blocking for him, and he's not getting up the field. Brown, the true freshman, explosive guy, just not connecting enough, I think, with Lagway. They're just not on the same page here. So I agree. I think, the only way Florida wins this game ultimately is if Miami hands it to them, literally. Like Carson Beck is just making really bad decisions. And I will say this, Beck threw 3 interceptions last year in the win over Florida when he was with Georgia. He did not play good against the Gators last year. So it'll be interesting to see what Miami does. The X factor here is that offensive line. And as long as they give Beck all day to throw, I just don't think he's going to make very many mistakes.
Let me tell you something. How about the X factor of the defense of the Canes?
Yeah.
What a night and day difference from last year to this year, dude. This is a competent defense. This is a defense that can put pressure at times. This is a defense that can get stops, dude. It's, man, wow, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, they really did a great job staying disciplined in their gaps. That's what I noticed against Byron Brown last week. Again, the USF win was, you go back and you look at that film. Byron Brown, I think, had 2 yards rushing in that game total, based between the sacks and tackles for loss, and just never could really get his legs going. Now, the one thing we're still seeing is Miami secondary every now and then blowing a coverage. They've given up 8 catches of 20 yards or more, which comes out to 2.6 per game. Last year, they were giving up 3.3 pass plays of 20 yards per game. So it's not completely out of their system to let a receiver loose in coverage. But the bottom line is they only gave up 12 points to USF, and they really shut down one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the country. And so you have to feel really good about Corey Heatherman's unit. And personally, I think they're just going to get better as the year goes on, because you're starting to see the swarm up front of those defensive linemen. They recruited so many 5-star guys and high 4-star guys in that defensive line. And now those guys, you're starting to see Armando Blunt. You're starting to see Justin Scott take over. You're starting to see what those guys look like as mature football players, and they're performing and producing. And so it's not just going to be Ruben Bain. It's going to be some other guys. And I think that's the exciting part if you're a Miami fan, that you still have so much untapped potential with some of the players Mario's brought in.
All right, doggy. This is the Big Cheese NIL recruiting
Yes.
report. So I remember a couple years back where there was like a Gator lady PR trying to keep people away from their players. And all. You remember that?
Yes, last year. Yeah.
I was wondering, the shit has hit the fan in Gator land, and things are pretty good in UM land. So are they targeting any flips by the Gators or anybody else, or what are we talking about right now?
Well, listen, let's not forget, we live in the world of the transfer portal, right? So they may not just be targeting high school recruits. They may be targeting some of those elite receivers at Florida, like Vernell Brown, who's going to suit up in blue and orange on Saturday, that could potentially enter his name into the transfer portal if there's a coaching change, right? Billy Napier gets fired. DJ Lagway leaves. You're going to probably see a mass exodus of Gator players. So not only will Miami be talking to the recruits in attendance, they will be talking to some of those Gator players, I'm sure, in the middle of the game as well. It's the way the world works now in college football. But as far as the high school recruits, a lot of this is going to be a ridiculous weekend. You can go to these recruiting websites. You can go see Gabby Urrutia at 247 Inside the U. He provides you the master list, but I'm going to give you the highlights here. Anthony Jones is one of the elite edge rushers in the country. He is committed to Oregon. Okay, 6'4", 250 pounds. Jason Taylor has been working his ass off to flip this kid. He is going to be coming back to Miami again to watch the Hurricanes play. And it's one thing for a kid to come down one time and say, yeah, I'm going to go spend a weekend in Miami. This is the second time he's doing this now since the season started. And so there is a strong feeling out of the Miami camp that they're going to have a chance to flip this kid. And again, super talented player, 6'4", 250, 5-star out of Mobile, Alabama. Listen, we talked about Nick Saban over the years, right? What he did, he would come into South Florida and steal the 5 stars. Alabama's not Alabama anymore without Nick Saban. So now Miami can go into Alabama and pull a 5-star out of their neck of the woods. So we'll see if that develops. Another big name to watch, Calvin Russell.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I hear that one of the secret weapons that the Canes have is that Jason Taylor visits the kid's mom.
Yes, I'm sure that works.
You know, you get to visit him anytime. You can see me work with him, and we'll get to know each other and all that. And then mom just looks at him and says, "Son, go there, go there." You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering if they're using that as a tool, as a weapon. I mean, Jay can win those moms over. You know what I'm saying? You walk into that room, he probably puts on a tight shirt and shit, the muscles and all that, and there we go. And mom says, "Son, go with him. Go with him. She has seen the light." I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's happened once or twice already. That Jason Taylor's been brought in to change the temperature in the room, so to speak. Couple other guys to take note of quickly. Calvin Russell from Syracuse. Syracuse commitment. He's from Miami Northwestern. Big time receiver. He's really Calvin good friends.
Russell. Just like a football name.
Yes.
Calvin Russell, right there, bro. Go ahead.
He is really good friends with Malachi Tony, okay, who, of course, is playing right away. Malachi Tony, by the way, just turned 18, so we can't keep calling him 17-year-old Malachi Tony. He's officially 18 now. But the point is, he has seen the light, right? He's seeing that Miami is the real deal this year, that they're a top 5 team, that College Game Day is going to be here. And so I think there's a chance they're going to flip him. And one other name to track here, Justice Fitzpatrick. We know who his brother is, right? Minka, and he's a guy who's been committed to Georgia for a bit. Minka has a lot of respect for Mario. Obviously played for Kirby Smart, but Mario helped recruit Minka to Bama, and I think little brother might follow suit as well.
Okay, all right, yeah, because Minka knows what they're doing in Miami Gardens doesn't resemble anything that they're doing in Coral Gables. So yeah, that's probably viewed differently. All right, so are any 27, 28 players coming in?
Oh, Jesus, the list is so long. I think they have, and I'm not exaggerating this, I think they have 11 of the top 20 wide receivers ranked in the 2027 class that are coming in. Guys that are committed to Ohio State, guys that are just guys that they normally wouldn't be in the conversation for because they weren't known for having quarterbacks and great passing offenses. But look what Shannon Dawson, Cam Ward, and Carson Beck are doing. Oh, they don't even know who the quarterback is going to be in 2 years, right? You have no idea. It could be Darion Coleman, the kid who's in this class. Could be the recruit that they got in last year's class. Could be a transfer portal guy. The bottom line is all of these receivers are like, look at Malachi Tony. Look what he just did. Look at Xavier Restrepo, what he just did. Miami's putting All-Americans out at these positions again. So this is what happens. You get momentum. It's Miami High basketball back in the day with Shaky Rodriguez. You get a little bit of momentum. You don't even need to recruit. They come to you.
Yeah, that is awesome. All right, good stuff there. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check you out, my friend?
Brother, there's so much going on. Today, my latest story with Sam Khan and Antonio Morales. We're part of our roster building team. We put out our transfer portal buzz. Who are the guys at Virginia Tech and UCLA, the 2 schools that just fired their head coaches? Who are the guys that everybody in the country is going to want to come in and swoop on? We have that topic. We talked about Texas Tech, who spent a boatload of money. They're playing in a huge game this weekend against Utah. I've got my oddly specific predictions as I do every single week. Had a bad week last week because of some upsets, but I'm hoping to bounce back. I'm 17-10 for the season, so I picked the Canes with the spread. I think they're going to help me out in terms of my 9 weekly picks. So you can check all of that out over at theathletic.com.
All right, there you go. And follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch him tomorrow night with me post-game as the Canes kick the Gators' ass. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll talk tomorrow night.
Talk soon. Take care.
BigCheeseMiami.com. You can go to the website and check out that menu. It's enormous. They've got all kinds of pastas, and pizza is just to die for. And the pasta shipped from Italy. They cook fresh daily. They will give you family servings. A lot of restaurants now, they keep charging you more and giving you less. No, that's not how it goes at the Big Cheese. They're not charging you a ton, and they're giving you a ton, which is a beautiful thing. And by the way, those garlic rolls are to die for. So make sure you order those garlic rolls to start off. And they got a little pizza sauce on the side to dip in them. Just absolutely awesome. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com. And if you want to have a party at your place, your home, your business, your school, any dish can become a party platter. And you can order it 305-662-6855. Visit my friends. They're right down the street from the University of Miami, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and the walls. It's like a hall of fame of hurricane memories. BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.